Hi, my name is Hong Ha, and the recreational activity that I decided to participate in was video games. Video games has become the most popular leisure activities for children and adults. The video game industry is a billion-dollar business, and its products have become a major part of media today. However, there is a major gender differences. Back in the day, video games has been predominantly for male due to the fact that they have nothing to do lately and they have all the times on their hands. Whereas for women, they were always busy cooking and cleaning. Video games was ideally a male activity and men were encouraged to engage in it, but for women, they were discouraged from engaging in cross-sex stereotype activities. At the time, it was known that many girls and young women show less interest in digital games, having barely any games-related knowledge, and they play less frequently. Also, many video games don't satisfy them due to violence in games, which explains why women have low interest in them. According to a research report on sex differences, it shows that men are better than women on tasks of mental rotation with objects, navigating through routes, and targeting things. In today's current perspective, female game playing increased a whole lot since there were new games created that would suit for females. According to our current users' data, 43% fall video games players are female. For instance, when the game like The Sims came in, it has attracted many female players. And because of that, many video games industry is trying to find more ways to create games that girls will like. Some current issues that are happening today are the violence in video games. Many video games are leading people into violence. For example, an 18-year-old shot and killed 3 police officers after taking an officer's weapon following an arrest for stealing a car. And during the trial, the 18-year-old had claimed that he had been inspired by the video game Grand Theft Auto. Clearly, video games has been related to violence. Another issue with video games is the nudity and sexuality of the characters. Women in certain games are seen topless wearing barely any clothes. Many of them are strippers and prostitutes, and because of that, a lot of games has been banned. I can see that there has been a major change in the participation of video gameplay. Even though traditionally video games has been dominated by males, many females are now interested in it by engaging in games that suits them. The gender gap is now narrow and many players are no longer overwhelmed by men. These developments of other games have clearly changed and shifted away from the traditional gender in these activities. Now both male and female are involved in video games that are interesting to them. Video games fit into traditional ideals of leisure for the male than female because many games nowadays interest them more often. As a child, many boys were raised on them and because of that they are hooked to it. They still enjoy what they did as a kid. This is why females don't play much because as a kid they were raised to play with dolls. Both gender clearly was raised differently from others. Males are very competitive and they like challenges that are hard to achieve, but they will play until they win. This is why video games are more preferable for male than female. My experience with video games is clearly related to gender role because as a boy, they were told to play games that are only related to them. Same thing with girls, they weren't allowed to play video games but were told to play with Barbie dolls. The difference is that girls was labeled as weak and guys was viewed as strong, and that's why many girls don't play games because they believe they are going to lose. With gender role, women were defined as a stay-at-home wife, cooking and cleaning, and men were portrayed as the one to work and to provide food for the family. Women were always busy at home, whereas for men, they do have a lot of time on them, and playing video game is an option for them to waste time. With video games, I really haven't had the time to play it. I always thought it was a waste of your time and was boring, so I really bothered participating in it. It seems really hard to play games and you have to stay really focused in it. Games like Halo to me look too difficult to handle. There's a lot of violence in the game, which I did not like much. With that in mind, I don't really get how someone can sit in front of a screen the whole time playing video games. And that's what I'm curious about. While I was playing the video game Halo, there were some challenge for me because I did not know how to control the characters in the game. I had difficulty using the button on the game controller. But then as time passes, I kind of got used to it. I felt good that I was able to know what to do in the game. I thought that the minute I started playing, I would give up in less than 5 minutes, but actually it was exciting and fun. I can now see why Mel can sit all day playing video games because the feeling of winning and beating other players was a whole lot of fun. I would definitely participate in playing games again. It actually helped me feel more relaxed. Coming home from work and school was stressful enough for me, but as I participate in this experience of playing games, it helped me relieve all my stress. Video games clearly opened my mind to different ways of having fun.